Okay, very good evening, my dear friends. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. So, a very good evening, my dear friends. Today's our resource person, Dr. A. Shailaja Madam Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Autonomous CPGET. Madam is going to explain about the permanent tissues, in the field of plant science, especially the branch of the plant anatomy. Plant anatomy, Madam has clearly explained about the uh, theories related to shoot effects and net effects, and also the uh, permanent tissue, simple tissue. Madam has clearly explained yesterday. And simple tissue, Madam clearly explained about the parenchyma, parenchyma, and sclerenchyma. So, including the internal, each and every point, and also the examples. The examples are most important, what Madam has explained yesterday. So, my dear friends, come to today's topic. Madam is going to explain about the another area of these tissues, that is complex tissue. Madam, please welcome and start your session, Madam. Please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, in the last class, we discussed the simple tissues, about simple tissues. In the permanent tissue, that there are three types: simple tissue, complex tissue, and special tissues. So, in the yesterday's class, simple tissues are completed. Today, we are going to discuss that second one, complex tissues. PPT is visible, sir?
Yes, yes, Madam. PPT is.
Okay, okay, sir. What is a complex tissue? A group of dissimilar cells which work collectively as a single functional unit and perform a specific function is called complex tissue. So that a complex tissue is a permanent tissue having more than one kind of cells. So different type of cells, a group of dissimilar cells which work collectively as a single functional unit and perform a specific function that is called complex tissue. Okay, so that is a definition of complex tissue. Xylem and phloem are the two complex tissues that are around in all vascular plants. So xylem and phloem, these are two complex tissues. These are two types. All type of cells acts as a functional unit and carry on a common main function. That is the specialization of complex tissue. Different types of cells are present in the complex tissue, but all are act as a functional unit, single functional unit, and carry on a common main function. That is the complex tissue. These are two types, that is xylem and phloem. They are the component parts of vascular bundles and hence are also called vascular tissues. These xylem and phloem, these are the component parts of the vascular bundles. So that's why we are called vascular tissues also. Vascular bundles form a continuous and interconnected system in different organs of the plants. Plants having well-developed vascular system are included under one phylum, that is the Tracheophyta. Okay, so that these are come under the one phylum, that is Tracheophyta. So all vascular plants under come one system, vascular system. These are included one phylum, that is Tracheophyta. So complex tissues are two types, that is xylem and phloem. Come to the xylem. Xylem is the main water conducting tissue in vascular plants. So xylem and phloem, xylem is the main water conducting tissue in vascular plants. Phloem is the food conducting tissue of the vascular plants. Already we discussed this in introduction class. These two tissues are called vascular tissues or conducting tissues. So xylem is water conducting tissue, phloem is food conducting tissue. That's why we are called conducting tissues or vascular tissues. Okay. So come to the xylem. Xylus means wood. Xylus means wood. Structurally, xylem consists of both the living and non-living cells. The most important constituents of it are the tracheiary elements. So tracheiary elements, it is the main water conducting tissue and also gives support to the plant body. On the basis of development, xylem is of two types. So basis of development, this xylem is of two types, that is primary xylem and secondary xylem. Come to the primary xylem. Developmentally, xylem is distinguished into primary and secondary. The primary xylem is derived from procambium. It is derived from the procambium. The primary xylem is differentiated into protoxylem and metaxylem. Okay, protoxylem and metaxylem is present in the primary plant body, that is in vascular bundles. The first formed primary xylem elements are called protoxylem. Okay, what is the protoxylem? Protoxylem is first formed part and the metaxylem is formed later. That is the difference between protoxylem and metaxylem. Protoxylem is first formed part and the metaxylem is formed later. That is the protoxylem and metaxylem. On the basis of arrangement of protoxylem and metaxylem, xylem is again is of three types. Okay, on the basis of arrangement. So on the basis of origin, that is two types, xylem is two types, that is protoxylem and metaxylem. On the basis of arrangement of protoxylem and metaxylem, this xylem is again divided into three types, that is exarch xylem and endarch xylem and metaxylem. Okay, first one, exarch xylem. Please see the diagrams in the PPT. Protoxylem is present towards the periphery and metaxylem towards the inner side. See here is it is very clear in the PPT. What is the protoxylem? What is the metaxylem? Protoxylem is first formed xylem and later formed xylem is called metaxylem. Okay, so endarch, exarch. The arrangement is different. What is the in the cortex, in the pith is center part and this metaxylem is arranged. Protoxylem is present towards the periphery and metaxylem towards the inner side is called exarch. Okay, exarch. See the second diagram, exarch. I think it is very clear. Clear in the PPT? Okay, na? Is it okay?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay. So this is the exarch xylem. Example, dicot roots and monocot roots. Come to the next one, endarch xylem. Protoxylem towards the inner side and the metaxylem is present towards the outer side. See here. What is the difference between in these two? You observe, clear observe చేయండి ఒకసారి. So what is that? The protoxylem towards the inner side and metaxylem is present towards the outer side. That is called endarch. Okay. Example for this, dicot stem and monocot stem. This is the endarch xylem. Endarch means protoxylem is inner side and metaxylem is outer side. Okay, this is endarch. Example, dicot stem and monocot stem. Exarch means that is roots, dicot and monocot roots. This is the exarch and endarch. Come to the mesarch. So mesarch xylem, protoxylem is present in middle and metaxylem is present of either side of protoxylem. This is known as mesarch xylem. Okay, see here. So below the endodermis pericycle is there and the phloem, metaxylem, protoxylem. See here. So in this, protoxylem is center and metaxylem is present of either side of protoxylem. Both sides it present. Metaxylem is present both side of the protoxylem. That is called mesarch xylem. This is known as mesarch xylem. Example, cycad stem and selaginella stem. Okay, cycad and selaginella stems. These are xylem examples. Next, coming to the secondary xylem. So we are discussed about the primary xylem up to here. That is primary xylem. And which one is called secondary xylem? This type of xylem is formed from the cambial cylinder. Cambial cylinder. So the newly formed cells are cut off towards inside and develop into secondary xylem. Okay. So that this type of xylem is formed from the cambial cylinder. The newly formed cells are cut off towards inside and develop into secondary xylem. Secondary xylem consists of different types of elements. They are tracheary elements consisting of tracheids and vessels, fibers, xylem parenchyma. So this is four types of elements we observed, different types of elements present in the secondary xylem. Those are tracheary elements. It consisting of two types of tracheary elements, that is tracheids and vessels, fibers, xylem parenchyma. See here that diagrams is there. This is a tracheid, this is the vessel element. Come to the next, tracheids. The tracheid is an elongated cell with tapering ends. With tapering ends. This is the ends, tapering ends. It consists of lignified wall. It becomes dead at maturity. It becomes dead at maturity. This is the one of the tracheid element. Tracheids are connected to one another laterally. Bordered pits are found in the cell walls in rows. The tracheids provide mechanical strength to the plants. That is about the tracheids. So these are the xylem elements. These observed in the secondary xylem. Okay, the tracheid means it is a elongated cell with tapering ends. It consists of lignified wall. It becomes dead at maturity. So these tracheids are connected to one another laterally. Bordered pits are found, not simple pits. That is, bordered pits are found in the cell walls in rows. The tracheids provide the mechanical strength to the plants. These are present in pteridophyte and gymnosperms. Remember this, tracheids are present in pteridophyte and gymnosperms. It is absent in angiosperms. Note down these points. But in drymis and trocodendron tracheids are present. So it is absent in angiosperms, but only that drymis and trocodendron having the tracheids. They are useful in conduction of water and mineral salts. These tracheids useful for the conduction of water and mineral salts. That is about the tracheids. Okay. So these are present in pteridophyte and gymnosperms, but it is absent in angiosperms except two, that is drymis and trocodendron. This is very important. Note down this point. Coming to the next, vessels. So this is a vessel element. Please observe there is a what is the difference between tracheid and vessel. Okay, these are found in angiosperms, but it is not found in Winternaceae and Trocodendraceae. These are known as vessel-less angiosperms. So Winternaceae and Trocodendraceae, it is not found the vessels. Okay, vessels is long, tubular, and conducting structure of xylem. Vessels connected end to end. The vessels and are these are also dead at maturity. The pores which are present at the end walls of vessels are called a perforation plates. So which one we are observed, the pores which are present at the end walls of vessels, these are called perforation plates. See here, this is about the perforation plate. Okay, so end part that is we are called a perforation plate. In this vessel element, that is the structure of perforation plate. Okay, that is about the vessels. These are found in angiosperms, but it is not found in two families, that is Winternaceae and Trocodendraceae. They are simple perforation plates having only one large pore and compound perforation plates having many pores. In vessel elements, secondary wall is formed over the primary pores. The first formed wall is known as primary wall, and later another wall is formed over the primary wall, and this is called a secondary wall. The secondary wall exhibits different types of depositions. They are, see here, these are the after they will formed the in the we are observed on the vessels. Okay, so the first formed wall is known as primary wall, and later another wall is formed that is over the primary wall, that is called a secondary wall. So the secondary wall exhibits the different types of depositions. So we are observed on the vessels different types of depositions on their vessels. So that is A, B, C, D, E, different types of pictures are there. So see here, first one is A1 is annular thickenings. Secondary wall thickenings formed as rings on the primary wall of the vessels. See here on the primary wall that those are annular thickenings. Okay, circles like that. Secondary wall thickenings formed as rings like that. Rings on the primary wall of the vessels, that is annular thickenings. And B1 is spiral thickenings. Secondary wall is formed in a form of a spiral on the primary wall. And C1 is scalariform thickenings. Secondary walls are formed as transverse bands in the ladder like structures are formed on the primary wall. Okay, secondary walls are formed as transverse bonds in the ladder. And the next one is reticulate. D1 is reticulate. See here in this picture you observe that reticulate thickenings. Okay, some spaces are in between that. That is a reticulate thickenings. And the next come to the pitted thickenings. See here, pitted. Secondary wall is formed in the form of pits. That's why pitted thickenings. Scalariform pitting. The pits are formed in longitudinal rows in parallel manner. Okay, see here, this is a longitudinal rows in the parallel manner. Opposite pitting, see here, opposite pitting, the pits are formed in rows opposite to each other. Second one is you clearly observe that the pits are formed in rows but opposite to each other. That is one type of. The pits are formed in alternate, that is alternate pitting. Okay, different types of depositions of the secondary wall, that is called that is we observed on the vessels. Okay, see like that annular thickenings, spiral thickenings, scalariform thickenings, reticulate thickenings, pitted thickenings, scalariform pitting, opposite pitting, alternate pitting. Okay, pitted thickenings are three types. This is about the vessels. Next coming to the xylem fibers. Okay, so what is the function of tracheids? The main function of tracheids is to conduct water and minerals in the plant body. The tracheids are placed one above the other with their end walls in contact. The end walls are imperforated but are provided with bordered pits. That is function of tracheid. And come to the vessels. What is the vessel function mainly? This is the vessels are more efficient in transport of water and minerals as compared to tracheids. Because of that, besides they also give mechanical support. So these are also for the transport of water and minerals as compared to tracheids. It is best. Okay, vessels are best. Besides, they also give the mechanical support. That is function of vessels. So next come to the xylem fibers. The sclerenchyma fibers associated with xylem are called xylem fibers or wood fibers. See here is the first point, that is the fibers associated with xylem are called xylem fibers. So in the last class we have discussed that sclerites, some sclerites are attached with the xylem. Those are called xylem fibers. Okay, so these long and elongated with the tapering ends, the cell wall is made up of lignin. These are also dead cells. Remember this, tracheids and vessels, those are also dead cells, and these xylem fibers are also dead cells. They provide mechanical strength to the plants. These fibers are of two types, that is libriform fibers and tracheoform fibers. Libriform fibers have simple pits. Tracheoform fibers have bordered pits. Okay, so these long with elongated with tapering ends. The cell wall is made up of lignin. next Xylem parenchyma. Last one, Xylem parenchyma. So see here in the last xylem fibers, these libriform fibers are narrow with a highly thickened secondary wall, destroyed the central lumen and with the simple pits. Okay, libriform fibers we are observed that narrow and with highly thickened secondary wall. These with it structured with simple pits. These fibers occur abundantly in the woody dicots. These fibers give mechanical strength to the plant body. Example, leguminosae. Okay, libriform fibers. Example, leguminosae. Please note down. Libriform fibers. Example, leguminosae. Fiber tracheids are intermediate forms between the typical fibers and tracheids with bordered pits. That is tracheophyta, tracheid fibers. So next, that in some fiber tracheids, transverse separations are seen. Such fibers are called septate fiber tracheids. For example, for that, tracheid fiber tracheids or tracheophyta fibers. Then the example is anacardiaceae, meliaceae. Anacardiaceae, meliaceae for the fiber tracheids. Examples for the fiber tracheids, and leguminosae for the libriform fibers. Okay, these two example. It's important. And next come to the last one, xylem parenchyma. This is only that living tissue in the xylem. See here, all are dead cells. Already we have discussed that is the tracheids are dead, having the dead cells, and the vessels are having the dead cells at maturity. And coming to the third one, that is xylem fibers also dead cells, but the xylem parenchyma, it is only living tissue in the xylem. Please remember this, very very important. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. These are helpful in storage of food material. The rays in them are known as xylem rays. These are made up of parenchyma. They help in lateral conduction. They help in lateral conduction. So that which one the parenchymatous cells are associated with the xylem are called xylem parenchyma or wood parenchyma. The primary xylem, that parenchyma forms a major part in which vessels are scattered. In the secondary xylem, two types of parenchyma cells are occur. That is two types of in the secondary xylem, two type of parenchyma cells are there. That is axial or wood parenchyma and ray parenchyma. Okay, so two types of cells are there. Axial or wood parenchyma, these are derived from the fusiform cambial initials together with tracheiary elements and fibers. These are somewhat elongated and lie in vertical series along with the long axis. Come to the ray initials or ray parenchyma. These originate from ray initials of fusiform cambium and occur in radial transverse series. This is a xylem parenchyma. It stores the food reserves in the form of starch or fat. Sometimes tannins, crystals, and other substances are also may also be found in these cells. Ray parenchyma is concerned with the radial conduction of water. Okay, this is about the xylem parenchyma. So it's very very important. Is a living tissue. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. These are helpful in the storage of food material. Sometimes we observe that tannins, crystals, and other substances may also be found in these cells. Okay, clear? This is about the xylem. Next